All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all.
And so I'm gonna always be at the forefront of the HIV and AIDS fight. I love it. We come a long way. We still got a long way to go. But I will continue to do what I can to help educate people, raise the awareness level of HIV and AIDS, care for people, and then also stop the discrimination against people who are living with it.
Picture this, not a bedroom in New Orleans, but a gilded cage. A world of private jets, penthouse suites, and secrets buried so deep they were never meant to see the light of day. A world where fame isn't a reward, it's a transaction. And the currency? Your soul. For decades, the machine has operated in silence, protected by NDAS, powered by fear, and polished by a media that knows which hands feed it. But in 2024, the walls are starting to crack, and the whispers are becoming a roar. All the big deviants are catching hell. It's up for all of them. It don't matter who you are, what you did, or how high you climbed. The lies, every last one of them, are being exposed. Welcome back to Behind the Fame. Strap in. Tonight, we're diving into the firestorm that's engulfing Hollywood's inner circle. A story woven from viral rumors, fearless whistleblowers, and a single burning question. What happens when the man who knows all the secrets finally decides to talk? This is a story about two names. One, a hip-hop mogul whose empire is crumbling under the weight of federal raids and horrifying allegations. The other, the son of a basketball legend, living his truth openly and unapologetically. On the surface, they have no connection. But online, in the shadowy corners of the internet, a narrative has been born. A narrative fueled by one man, the comedian they haven't been able to silence. His name is Katt Williams, and he's not just telling jokes anymore. He's reading the industry its last rites. In his world, fame is a deal with the devil. You give up something, your peace, your privacy, your morality, for that spotlight. And he claims to have seen the contracts signed in blood. He's talking about coded messages, about leaving in the jabs so the powerful know he knows. And one of the names he constantly jabs, Sean Diddy Combs.
Club Shay Shay, yeah. I was trying to do something there that hadn't been done. I thought that I had figured out the algorithm mathematically, and I thought that I could show that. And when I wrote it out to kill the careers of the people I was talking about, right? But it was so vicious that I erased all of the knockout blows and just left the jabs, so that the comic I'm talking about knows that I know your real story, motherfucker. I'm gonna tell this, but you know what else I know. So, yeah, I was.
Do you want to tell any of those stories now?
Well, I'm saying.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, okay. Now I get it. So now no more communication.
The allegations against Diddy are no longer just rumors. They're federal, search warrants, indictments, a litany of charges that paint a picture of a monster hiding in plain sight. 1,000 bottles. Let that number sink in. This is the world Katt Williams claims he was invited into. He says Diddy summoned him not for acting coaching, not for music, but for something else, something he and his assistant immediately understood. He got it, and he walked away. But what about those who didn't? What about those who stayed inside the machine? This is where the story takes a dark, controversial turn. This is where the name E.J. Johnson, Magic Johnson's son, enters the chat. Online, the theories exploded. Unverified sources, underground podcasts, and commentators like Jaguar Wright began connecting dots that may not even exist. They whispered about secret parties, about guest lists.
It's sad, but what I'm gonna say is as far as Katt Williams is concerned, the one thing that seems to be the running theme with this tragedy that's happened to Reggie Carroll's life and his family's life is that y'all really not making it about what happened to him. Y'all really are just making it about how to destroy Katt Williams' credibility so nobody has to believe what he has to say, because he's the last of the whistleblowers that y'all haven't really touched up on yet. It's just funny it's all happening around this time.
Right.
Auspicious timing. And I'm not sitting here saying that, you know, the passing of Reggie Carroll was some kind of great conspiracy plot to set up Katt Williams so that they could, you know, devalue him as a whistleblower or whatever the case may be, and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I'm not saying that at all. And I don't want to hear anybody even trying to remotely put those words in my mouth. What I'm saying is the one thing that I know for sure is that they will take any opportunity that they have to trash and disgrace and destroy anyone who was brave enough to tell the truth, even this man's passing. Because the truth is, they should just be talking about him.
About a hidden connection between Diddy's world and EJ's, the narrative was born that EJ was somehow caught up in Diddy's lifestyle, scrolling rapidly on the other. But here's the thing, there is zero credible evidence. No reputable outlet has ever linked them.
So we coming to you live, Diddy late nights. Man, anything can happen. I'm just vibing. It's so wide.
Special agents from HSI executed search warrants at Combs' residences in Miami and Los Angeles. They also executed a warrant for Combs' electronic devices. During those searches, agents seized evidence of the crimes charged in this indictment. They seized firearms and ammunition, including 3 defaced AR-15s and a large capacity drum magazine. They also seized evidence of the freak-offs, electronic devices that contain images and videos of the freak-offs with multiple victims. And they seized cases and cases of the kinds of personal lubricant and baby oil that Combs' staff allegedly used to stock hotel rooms for the freak-offs. More than 1,000 bottles altogether.
KY, stop going up.
Here are some of the items that we recovered during the searches. As you can see here, this is a drum magazine, large capacity, and it contains, I believe, 59 rounds. I mentioned as well that we recovered 3 AR-15s.
The entire story is built on speculation, fueled by the toxic alchemy of social media and our own craving for scandal.
It was his son's parties.
Good point. They said some of these freak-offs will last for days.
That's where they're gonna get him on the sex trafficking thing. Especially like if he was traveling and doing it. That's where the trafficking come at. That you hiring workers to come and have a girl, that's crazy. That's some Hollywood that I don't even know, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. But they also claiming that, you know, Diddy, he'll give ecstasy to his victims to keep them obedient.
Then they have to bring those witnesses in there. That's gonna be something hard to prove. Unless Lil Rob or Lil Cat or Cassie state that was something that happened. That's how the prosecutor's gonna prove that. They got a ton of evidence that they gotta try to prove, bro. A lot of that that if you read it, it could be circumstantial, you know what I'm saying? But they gotta have witness to back it up. You just can't say that that happened based on somebody lawsuiting what the words that they're saying. They have to have witnesses in there. And I think Puff lawyers is gonna be smart enough to attack that.
Right. And they claiming that Diddy, you know, he was blackmailing his victims because he had videos from old freak-offs and he was using those videos to get his victims to do another freak-off. So
if he was blackmailing people, especially people that work for him, see, this is what it's gonna get him at. See, people think that, those people work for him, or those people, if they was artists and they worked for him, or they were engineers, or they anybody that worked for them and stuff like that, your boss cannot blackmail you to do nothing. If you do a sex act or you doing anything, your boss, if he have you doing those things like that, then he could be liable for suit. Because you're not doing it willingly. Because that individual is your boss. So psychologically, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody say, that when somebody has something over you, could determine your job, your career, your livelihood. That's somewhat of a blackmail if they holding stuff that they've done, that you've done in the past, over your head to make you continually doing that stuff now. That's where he loses at. Because some of those people worked for him, or he was a part of doing something. They was part of doing something for their career with him. That's why he loses that case.
It fits a pattern we want to believe: the corruption of innocence by a powerful predator. So why does it feel so plausible? Because of the environment Katt Williams describes: an environment of control, of silence, of blackmail. This is the ecosystem. This is the soil in which these rumors grow. And the most chilling allegation of all involves a health crisis being used as a weapon. The commentator takes it a step further, pointing to a terrifying detail from the federal raids. This is the powder keg. And Katt Williams, whether you see him as a truth teller or a provocateur, is the man holding the match. His supporters say he's the last standing whistleblower, the one they haven't managed to touch up yet. They see the timing of recent tragedies, like the passing of his friend Reggie Carroll, as deeply suspicious. Not a conspiracy, but an opportunity for the machine to discredit him while he's vulnerable. So where does that leave us? With a mogul facing the abyss, with a comedian speaking in riddles and warnings, and with a young man, E.J. Johnson, whose greatest sin seems to be living his authentic life in a world that thrives on mystery.
Oh, did I say Freak Mill? I meant Meek Mill. But you know, the industry say that he's now given a lot of names of people who may have been infected with some HIV and other STDs from Puffy. You know, as you know, he's been pretty quiet. You know, he already been thin, and he always feels the need to defend himself. And the thing is, if you've done nothing, you don't feel the need to defend yourself. Do you understand what I'm saying? But Meek Mill has been naming names. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the point is, he's given so many names of people who walked away with more than just fun than the Puffy party. Can you dig what I'm saying? They walked away with certain things that they couldn't get rid of. You know, my theory, honestly, guys, my theory with this whole with the whole parties that was at his house, no, not the freak-offs in the hotel, but the parties that he had in his house. My theory is that people were paying a certain amount of money to come to his house and live out their sexual fantasy or whatever their fetishes was. Because as you see, you know, there was a lot of fetish stuff going, a lot of fantasy stuff going on. So, you know, even though you had a lot of the male escorts, female escorts, you had a whole bunch of locked doors and so much personal lubricant, that Astroglide, and so much baby oil. But guys, they did not find one safety pack intact. They didn't find any prophylactics. You have not heard them talk about like not one condom. There has not been one condom in sight. Can you dig what I'm saying? Not one condom. You ain't heard about nobody strapping up. And every video that you hear about Diddy, you know, every man who said that he attacked him said that he was in that thing raw. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to peep what's going on nowadays. You have diseases that you can't get rid of, but you can take pills. You could take all kind of things to keep you undetectable. And see, as Jaguar White was saying, man, she claims that Diddy been dealing with this HIV. That's what Jaguar White claims. She says that Diddy has been dealing with this HIV thing and other STDs. You know, she's an industry person. She says she has 20 people off the top that she can name off the top of her head that is dealing with this and that are undetectable.
Magic Johnson has built a legacy of grace under pressure. His support for his son has been unwavering and public. His silence on these rumors isn't an admission, it's a fortress. In an economy where every reaction is currency, sometimes the most powerful statement you can make is to say nothing at all. But Katt Williams operates on a different principle. For him, silence is complicity. Speaking up is survival, even if it burns down his own career in the process. He's playing a dangerous game, exposing a system that protects the powerful by any means necessary. The plot is thickening by the hour. New names are being dragged into the light, and the walls around the elite are shaking.
Doing a lot of truth telling.
Want to know what's interesting?
Go ahead.
It's Katt Williams that taught me how to be Jaguar Right.
Oh, wow. Okay. What was it about him that you kind of say, ooh?
10-10. He was my 30th birthday present. Almost 17 years ago. I'll never forget when he walked into the club and I was sitting at my table. It's my birthday party. And Special Ed brought him.
Shout out Special.
And me and Ed were celebrating our birthdays that year for the Taurus Affair that we used to do in Miami Beach every year. And Katt was playing the amphitheater and he wanted to meet me. And he came to my party, gave me about 20 grand in cash and said, consider it a down payment on your time. And Moni Love was there. Cousin Sonny was there. Imrel was outside smoking a blunt, so she missed the infamous picture with all of us together with Katt. And me and him sitting next to each other, two hats on, two cats in the hat.
Yeah.
And he taught me so much in 9 months. Walking away was hard, but it was when the Illuminati first started coming after him. And I'll never forget the day when they breached the house. And I left. You know, back in that moment, Katt was still wearing Kevlar to bed. I would get in bed with him at night and he would have Kevlar on. In bed.
What was it about that and him at the moment where it made you want to speak your truth?
He went after Comedy Central. That's what happened. The Flavor Flav roast. The moment that I knew the Snoop Dogg is sold out. That was a hurtful moment. I was always grateful to Snoop for taking Corrupt under his wing. Ricky was in a lot of trouble in Philly. If he hadn't signed a dog pound, I don't even know if he would have been alive. I've always been grateful to Snoop for that. Ricky, my brother.
That's real. That is real. So let me, go ahead.
They wanted Katt to humiliate Flav. Like humiliate him. Like no holds barred. And they sent a bunch of good jokes. And I'll never forget watching Katt in the office downstairs at the house in Marina Del Rey. And he's sitting there looking at the fucking script and just shaking his head.
You will not want to miss what we uncover next. Right now, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon. Don't just watch from the sidelines. Join the Behind the Fame family and get notified the moment we drop our next investigation into the secrets they don't want you to hear. Because at the heart of this isn't just about one rumor, it's about the very nature of fame in the 21st century. The internet has become the new press, a place where momentum trumps verification, where a story feeling true is often enough to convict someone in the court of public opinion. E.J. Johnson represents openness, Diddy represents secrecy, and their collision in the public imagination is a symbol of the war for Hollywood's soul. A war between freedom and control, between authenticity and image. So, who do you believe? The system that has lied for decades? Or the man who says he's seen the receipts? He claims he figured out the algorithm. Not for clicks, not for views, but for the truth. And in 2024, that algorithm is executing. The code is being written in federal indictments, in viral interviews, and in the unwavering courage of those who are no longer afraid to talk. The machine is breaking down, and when it finally shatters, what will we see crawling out from the wreckage? The entertainment industry's worst nightmare isn't lost profits, it's lost control. It's the terrifying realization that the secrets they buried are finally digging their way out. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Who is telling the truth and who is running out of time? This is Behind the Fame. Until next time, watch the shadows.